Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Smithy Talks LFC channel. I am so excited to be recording videos again because my football team is finally back. I bought the new shirt in preparation for this season. I wasn't going to do so because of Arne Slot and the current state of Liverpool, but we have finally got rid of Baldy over there. What's it like to have no hair? And we have brought in Andoni Iraola. But this isn't a video to talk about the Liverpool team. I'll be talking about that in many more videos to come. But for now, I will be giving you my very stupidly, early Premier League predictions for the 26-27 season. So let's get straight into it. Now, of course, it's going to be very difficult for me to predict the entire Premier League table this early on after no signings has really been made by any Premier League club. However, I'm going to do my best and I'm going to give you my honest predictions as to what I've seen so far from each team going into last season, form from last season at the back end of it, and rumours around transfers as well, new managers, because a lot of teams have got new managers, so that is what I'll be basing my predictions on. If you do enjoy this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. Tell me in the comments what you think I've got completely wrong, what you think I've got bang on, what's a good shout, what's not. My Premier League table is going to be 20th to 1st, so I'll go from 20th to 1st. I will literally be predicting every single position in the Premier League. I'm also going to give you my FA Cup, League Cup, Champions League and Europa League winners. I'm not doing a Conference League. I can't be asked with that. So let's get straight into it and go with number 20. This is probably an obvious one for a lot of people, and I've already seen a few little predictions here and there. This team is at the bottom of the barrel for everyone I've seen. It is Hull City. There is no way Hull City stay in the Premier League. There is no way they survive it. There just isn't. Like, they are the Burnley of the teams coming up this season. Even worse. It honestly wouldn't surprise me if Hull City go and break the record for the worst amount of points in a single Premier League season. Their squad really isn't that good, and they got very lucky to go up in the end. However, I haven't really watched much of the Championship, so I can't really comment on the Championship teams as much. So I'm just going to leave Hull City at the bottom, leave them there to rot away like they will do next season. In 19th, I've got a bit of a different one here. I am going to go with Fulham. Now, they have just lost Marco Silva, the man who has taken them to the Premier League and kept them there for a while. I think he's been there for 5 years. He was one of the Premier League's longest serving managers at the time, behind Mikel Arteta. He's now gone. I think he's joined Benfica, so good for him, but not very good for Fulham, especially if they end up losing someone like Harry Wilson. I don't think their foundation of a squad is actually that good as it is. So they could easily go down for me. It just depends, obviously, what happens in the transfer market, but I can't see him being able to pull in any massive players. I have seen that they have been linked with Arne Slot as the manager. If Arne goes to Fulham, I don't think they'll go down if he goes, because, yeah, he failed at Liverpool in the end, but at the end of the day, he's still a top manager, and I think he'd do a good job at Fulham. He'd probably push him towards Europe like they were doing this season. But for now, they haven't got Arne Slot. So, Fulham, sorry, you're in 19th. In 18th, another team that is going to go back down after coming straight back up is Ipswich Town. Now, I do like the manager for Ipswich. Kieran McKenna, I'm pretty sure his name is. Sorry if I butchered that. I think he's a decent manager. I don't think they did bad when they came into the Premier League 2 seasons ago, I think it was. They came up and they actually put in a good fight, sort of. I mean, they finished 18th, and that's where I've got them again this year. I just don't think they have the quality to stay up. Obviously, they lost Liam Delap last season. I can't really name you any unreal players that they have. I know they have like Jaden Philogene. That's the only player I know. I just don't see him having the quality. I feel like every other team is going to be better. They could easily finish 19th as well and Fulham in 18th, but I feel like Ipswich would be up for a relegation battle, whereas Fulham maybe not as much, so I'm going to put Ipswich in 18th, just getting relegated. I think they will put up a fight. I don't think it'll be an easy relegation for them. In 17th, just surviving, literally could be by about a point or two, is Leeds United. I don't think they're going to have an unreal season again like they did last season. Maybe not unreal last season, but it was still better for their standards. I really did think they was going to get relegated, especially with the manager, Daniel Farke. I don't think he's got a good enough quality to be an out-and-out Premier League manager every year. But he did a good job last season. And to be fair, I think Leeds have got a half-decent squad. Tanaka, Ampadu, Calvert-Lewin, who didn't really do much the back end of the season. Started off well, that was about it. So yeah, Leeds in 17th. I think that's a decent finish for them. As long as they stay in the Premier League, I think it's successful, but I don't think they're going to push on and do anything special, especially with a manager. In 16th, this would be great for them. Coventry. I think Coventry will just stay up. Again, I think they will be in a relegation battle, but I think they'll just about do it. I think Frank Lampard has the ability to keep them in the Premier League. He's been in the Premier League before, ultimately failed at Chelsea, but at the end of the day, he didn't do that bad, did he? He didn't really do that bad. He works well with youngsters, and I think he can take Coventry to a good place in the next few years, especially if he stays. And if I'm being honest with you, I can't really name a single Coventry player. So, I'm putting it down to the manager. I think Frank Lampard will have what it takes to stay in the Premier League with Coventry. 15th, I'm pretty sure they might have finished here last season as well. Or it's a downgrade, one of the two. It's Crystal Palace. They are losing Oliver Glasner. I did this little draft a few days ago for the Premier League table, and I originally had Palace to go down, but then I thought, I think they've still got a good enough foundation to stay up. So I haven't put them down yet. I think they'll finish 15th. I think they'll go far in the Europa League. Don't think they'll quite win it. But it just depends who they appoint as manager as well. Obviously, losing Glasner is a massive loss for them. He was a great manager for them, even though he's done them a bit dirty, leaving pretty early on. But is what it is. He can't do much about it. They have got a good foundation. There's that Canvot, French centre-half, who's looked really good for Palace since he's been playing. I don't know when he came into the team. It definitely wasn't the start of the season immediately. But he seems like a decent little centre-back to replace Mark Guéhi. Also, Ismaïla Sarr, fantastic player. I will put a hot take out there. I think Liverpool should go and sign Ismaïla Sarr to be a backup right winger to Yan Diomande, if we get him, obviously. But we will be signing an out-and-out right winger with quality. So I think Ismaïla Sarr could be the perfect man to be the backup to that, especially if Chiesa is leaving, which I would recommend him to do so because he's literally been in prison. But yeah, I think Palace will have enough to be 15th. I don't think they'll be really scared of relegation. I don't think they'll be fighting for anything most of their season. It'll just be pointless. Other than the Europa League. They might have a good cup run as well. So Palace are in 15th. Now in 14th, I do have Brentford, who qualified for Europe this year. I can't actually remember. Did they qualify for Europe? No, they didn't. I don't think they did. Never mind. Ignore me. Brentford, okay? The manager, what a job he's done so far. But will it work 2 seasons on the bounce? I don't think so. I don't think it was his first season in the Prem. He might have fluked it. So I'm just going to put Brentford in 14th. I think they might lose a few players. They might lose Igor Thiago after he got 22 goals in one season. Kevin Schade, they could lose. So, yeah, I don't think Brentford are going to do much next season. I think they'll have a bit of a drop-off. But then to stay in the Premier League, they'll still be happy. In 13th, I do have Nottingham Forest. So a massive improvement from last season. I think their squad, realistically, could easily push for Europe year in, year out. But they probably will lose Elliot Anderson this summer. I don't think they're going to lose Gibbs White. I think he's going to be committed to Forest. I don't see anyone really going in for him. I know City was trying to get him and Spurs not too long ago. And then that all stopped because of Mr. Marinakis taking his family hostage. But no one else is really in the need for a 10 as of right now. Maybe Arsenal, but I don't see them going for him because they've got Eze. And they might go for Morgan Rogers or something. I think more teams would go for Morgan Rogers as a better option. So I don't think Gibbs White's going to leave. I think they'll keep him. And I think they'll have a good enough team to go 13th, mid-table. It's just the manager that I'm not sure about. Vitor Pereira, pretty sure it is. I'm not sure about him. He did pretty horrendous at Wolves, and then the fans turned on him. He had a go at him. Yeah, I don't see it going very well for him. I feel like Forest could easily be down there because of the manager, but if they sack him and get someone decent, I think the squad is perfectly fine to stay in the Premier League. In 12th, to have a massive drop-off from last season, it is Bournemouth. Not really massive, 12th is decent, but they did get Europe, so I think it is going to be a drop-off. Of course, they're losing Iraola. Sadly for them, big up to Liverpool. Yeah, I think they're going to lose a few players as well. Maybe Alex Scott, Krupi's rumoured to go to PSG. That'd be a huge loss for them. People are already sniffing around Krupi and Ryan, and they've been there for literally a season. They've also lost Marcus Senesi to Spurs, basically. It's basically a done deal. So I think they will have a bit of a drop-off, especially with Europe as well, because they'll be playing Europa League football, which again, because they're an English side, I think they will go a bit far, maybe reaching the semi-finals, quarter-finals at least. But will they be able to balance that with Premier League football? I'm not so sure. So you could see Bournemouth going very far down the table. It just depends who they get. I think they've already got a manager. I don't actually know who, but I feel like they already have got one. I just don't know much about him, so I can't really call it. 11th, to have a really good season once again, is Sunderland. I think Reggie Labrie has done an unbelievable job at Sunderland. And I think their players have done so well. To get Europe with that team, it's not an unreal team, is it? But the players have dug the feet in the soil, and they've got a job done. But I would put it mostly down to Reggie Labrie. And the fact that there was on about sacking him at one point in the season, I can't believe that. If they sack him next season, we're finishing where I predicted them, 11th, that is a joke. Anywhere between 15th and above is a good season for Sunderland this season. It just is. Their squad isn't unreal. They lost a lot of players to AFCON as well in January, and it was literally perfectly fine. They've qualified for Europe. So well done to Sunderland. you've done a good job. Stay in the Premier League, 11th. I think they'll have a good enough team to do it again. I don't think they're going to lose many players. I think people like Granit Xhaka, they'll just stay there. I can't see him going to a massive club. So I think they'll keep on to the majority of the squad, maybe make improvements. But again, they're going to have to balance out Europa League with it, and I think that'll be a bit difficult to do. They'll need to get some squad depth in if they want to go higher in the league. In 10th is Brighton. It's just Brighton, innit? Brighton just sit there. They don't really do much. They did get Europe this season, so fair play to them. But I can't lie, I don't really care about Brighton. They've been in the league for years, and they've just been like this in the middle of the table, just balancing out. So, yeah, Brighton in 10th. I don't really care. 9th place, I have Everton. Again, a really good season for Everton. David Moyes is a good manager. I think we'll get him up there. I think they will be fighting for Europe for the majority of the season. And if things go their way, realistically, 9th can be a Premier League spot, depending on who wins the Champions League, Europa League, Conference League, and if we get that coefficient spot for next season. Ultimately, still good for Everton. They might lose a few players, maybe Iliman and Jai. I don't know what's happening with Grealish. I don't know if he's back to City or Everton are going to keep him on a permanent. No idea. If they can keep Grealish, you never know, they might get Europe. But 9th, I think it's good enough. The manager, quality, I do respect him a lot. But yeah, I hope they get relegated, but they're not going to. In 8th, to have a massive bounce back from last season, is Tottenham Hotspur. Now, I thought this was going to happen last season. They finished 17th 2 seasons ago with Ange Postecoglou. Sacked him, brought in a new manager, Thomas Frank. 17th again. The same position they were back-to-back seasons. But they have got De Zerbi. Now, I think De Zerbi is a very underrated manager. I feel like people were questioning it a lot when he came in to Spurs. But he kept him up. That's what he's meant to do. And I think next season, with an improved team, I mean, they've already signed Robbo, sadly, and Marcos Senesi. Their backline's looking decent. Robbo, Senesi, Van der Ven, and Pedro Porro. Of course, if they don't lose Van der Ven. But I don't think they will. Maybe they need a new keeper. Yeah, you don't really know. Maddison will be back fit as well. So I think Spurs have got a good squad. I feel like people have been shitting on the Spurs team like it's the worst team for a top 6 side ever. It's really not. It's really not that bad. It's not a 17th place team. Obviously, they had a lot of injuries, back-to-back seasons as well. So if they can keep injuries under wraps, Spurs can easily get in that top 6, especially with the reinforcements. They've already made 2 free signings, so they've got money to spend now. But I think 8th, it is reasonable. They won't have European football as well, so that'll help them out a bit. To just completely focus on the Premier League. I don't think they really have a cup run either. I think it will just be focused on the Prem. But I think 8th should be enough to get Europe for them. So it's good for Spurs. Now in 7th place, controversially, because they had a really bad season last season, is Newcastle. I think Newcastle will bounce back. I think they will get European football. I think they will stick with Eddie Howe as well, and I think he will bounce back. He'll be the manager for the entire season. They probably are going to lose players, Newcastle. Probably. They'll probably lose Tonali. They might be losing Bruno Guimaraes, but I think Eddie Howe's a good enough manager. They picked up some form at the end of last season. And a very underrated player for Newcastle last season, William Asula. What a player. I don't see him talked about enough. I think he's quality. I wouldn't mind seeing him at Liverpool. Obviously, we've already got enough strikers, so it's not going to happen. But I could see him moving to a big club soon. He has got a bit of quality about him. I think he can be the main man for Newcastle next season, scoring a few goals. Nick Voltemada in that, and neither is Johan Wissa. Hopefully Elanga can get firing for him. He had an awful season last season. They have just lost Anthony Gordon, but I think Harvey Barnes as well. It's brilliant off that left side. So I think their squad is decent enough. Malik Chow, they've got a brilliant centre-half there. They've got a good defence. They have lost Kieran Trippier, so they'll have to replace the right-back. I'm pretty sure they're off in for that Italian right-back from Cagliari or something. They might be Palestra. I don't know. Apparently he had a brilliant season, 21 years old in the Serie A. If they get him, again, they can keep going forward. I think they will have a good season next season, Newcastle. I see them going on a cup run. They also don't have European football to think about, so I think they will be perfectly fine. So Newcastle fans, don't worry. In 6th place, now this might be controversial for a lot of people, because I've seen this team get talked about like they're going to win the Premier League next season. Very overhyped in my opinion. And I'm not just saying this because I'm a Liverpool fan. In 6th place, I've got Manchester United. I am sick to death of people telling me that this team, oh, we're back, Manchester United are back, they're so good. They're really not. They're really not that good. Let's not forget last season, they had no European football to think about. Knocked out the League Cup early, knocked out the FA Cup early. They had to focus on the Premier League, and that was it. They sacked Amorim, he did shite, brought in Michael Carrick. All he did was put the players in the basic positions that I was meant to play and got them playing basic football, and it's done them well enough to get in the top 3. So, congratulations. You did well for one season. But I've seen this song before with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He finished second in the 2021 season when Liverpool finished third, I think it was. That season overall, quality-wise, it was a lockdown season. The quality was awful. It was not a good quality season. Same with last season. The last season's quality in the Premier League, you can say it was more competitive because anybody could beat anyone, which is true. But the quality was way down there. So that's why Man United were way up here. So with European football this season, I don't think they'll be able to balance it out. They might go for a cup run as well. They'll be making reinforcements. They have lost Casemiro. That is a big blow for him. Bruno Fernandes isn't going to have the season like he had this season. He'll still be playing really well. Bruno Fernandes is one of the best players in the league. But he won't be getting 20 assists again. He just will not. And I don't see Michael Carrick being the man to take Man United to a Premier League title. I just don't see it. I think he'll do well enough. I think he'll see out his season at Man United. Might be sacked by the end of it because it's probably not good enough for them. But I do see him being another Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So Man United in 6th for me. Come back at the end of the season. Look at this video. And you will see Man United nowhere near that Premier League title like most people are predicting. In 5th place, another weird one, controversial. Manchester City. They've just lost Pep Guardiola. I don't know. Liverpool lost Jurgen Klopp and we all thought it was going to be the end of the world. Finishing lower down in the table, we went on to win it next season. That could happen with City, yes. They've got Enzo Maresca. Is he an unreal manager? I'm not sure. I think he's a good manager. I do. I think he did well at Chelsea. I was very surprised that he got sacked. But will the players respect him like they respected Pep? I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. A lot of those City players were used to Pep. You know, Haaland, the entire time he was there, Pep Guardiola. They also have lost Bernardo Silva and John Stones. Big losses for them. Not Pep Guardiola. Bernardo Silva is literally their captain. That is a massive loss for Manchester City. So I think they'll finish 5th. I think they'll do it comfortably. I think they'll get Champions League football. And I think that's still decent for them. I really do. With a new manager coming in, you've got to rebuild. I don't think it's that bad. In 4th place, a weird one again. Might be controversial. I have got Chelsea. And this is purely down to the manager. They have appointed Xabi Alonso, which is, for me, already, he's the 2nd best manager in the league. People say, oh, Xabi Alonso might be better than Mikel Arteta because he's won more. He's had a better achievement. He went invincible in the Bundesliga with Leverkusen. But at the end of the day, a manager who's won the Premier League, who's playing in the Premier League, is a better manager than a Premier League manager who hasn't won it. That might have sounded confusing. Mikel Arteta has won a Premier League. Xabi Alonso hasn't. So Mikel Arteta is better. Mikel Arteta is the only manager now to have won the Premier League who's currently appointed by a Premier League team. So Xabi Alonso still is up there. He's an elite level manager. He managed Real Madrid. I think he'll do unreal with Chelsea. I really do. They've got the foundation there. A lot of squad depth. Obviously, they're not in Europe, actually. Yeah, they're not in Europe. So they will be able to focus on the Premier League. It wouldn't surprise me if they did finish in the top 3, maybe top 2. But with Alonso's system, because it is the way it is, with a free back, we've seen that go a bit funny in the Premier League at times. So I think he will have a few odd games. Maybe the start of the season, he won't start off too well. There'll be questions asked. But I think once the players learn the system, I think they'll be firing. But it will take a while for them to settle in. They might be losing a few players this season as well. I know Enzo Fernandez might be on the move, but Real Madrid are on about not buying a Premier League player. So I don't think we won't move there, but he could be leaving still. But still, for me, they have got a brilliant foundation for a squad. Levi Colwill's back from injury. João Pedro, if he keeps firing, he can be unreal. We know Xabi Alonso can get good out of a number 10, Florian Wirtz. So Cole Palmer, we could see him back to his best. I think Chelsea will have a really good season next season, and I do think they'll win one of the competitions as well. In 3rd place, I have Liverpool Football Club, and I will be really happy with this. It's Iraola's first season. We can't expect him to be winning the Premier League. It will be an improvement on Arne Slot, I do think. But he won't be doing what Arne Slot did in his first season. He won't be winning the Premier League. It will finish 3rd. We'll be in a title fight probably till like January, and we'll probably drop off. But we will comfortably finish in the Champions League, and I do see us going far in the other competitions as well. I really do like Andoni Iraola. I think he's quality. We've lost a few players. Salah, Robbo, Konate. But at the end of the day, Robbo didn't really play last season. Konate didn't do too well until the back end of the season, and Salah was nowhere really to be found last season. Not much. So we're saying it's hard to replace him. Of course it is. But we didn't replace him last season, and that wasn't the Salah that we knew. So we're going to be used to that. And I think Iraola will get the best out of these players. His high pressing system, high work rate, which is what we need. But I do think we need to get rid of some players like McAllister. Very lazy. I don't see him working out. I did just see that Bayern Munich are interested in Rio Ngamoa, which is very concerning because I think Iraola would have done wonders with Rio Ngamoa because he loves using the youth players. So I think Liverpool will finish third. I think they'll go far in the competitions, and I will be more than happy with that. Second place, I have got Arsenal. Now, I don't think they'll win it back-to-back. I really don't. I remember when Jurgen Klopp left the Premier League, like Pep Guardiola has done. And everyone was saying, oh, Pep Guardiola's just going to piss the league now. Man City have won every league until Pep Guardiola leaves because he hasn't really got a competition. But since Jurgen Klopp left, Pep Guardiola did not win a Premier League title. And I think it might be the same with Mikel Arteta. Pep Guardiola's left, everyone's saying, well, that's it. Arsenal are going to win it every year now. It's going to be an Arsenal dynasty in the Premier League. I don't think it will be that. I think there's going to be a real big shock in for Arsenal and who's going to win that Premier League title. They have got a good foundation. They might go and win the Champions League. They easily could. If they get a striker like Krupi, because I know they're interested, it could be serious problems, I'm not going to lie. But I don't think they're going to do it again. I really do not. I think they'll bottle it again and finish second for the fourth time in Mikel Arteta's history as manager. But in first place, you're probably wondering, where is this team? I haven't heard the name yet. Aston Villa. I am going to go with Aston Villa to win the Premier League title next year. Unai Emery is an absolutely exceptional manager. I think Villa will go all the way. I really do. I don't know why. I've just got this feeling that they're going to do it. They had an unbelievable season last season. People were questioning last season as well because they had a really bad start. Can Villa balance European football, Premier League football? And they did it perfectly. They finished in the top four and they won the Europa League. So they guaranteed themselves Champions League. I think they'll do well in the Champions League and I think they'll win the Premier League title. I think they will hold on to names like Morgan Rogers, Ollie Watkins, Ezri Konza. I think they'll hold on to a lot of their players and I think they've got the foundation to go really far. I really do. And with Champions League football, they can attract bigger names. So they need to make a few signings to get to the top of the Premier League. But if they do, I think it's a real possibility. Just from what I'm seeing right now, I am going with Aston Villa to win the Premier League. Thank you all for watching my Premier League predictions. If you did enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe. Tell me in the comments what you thought of my first place pick. Do you think I'm mental or do you think I'm onto something? Stay tuned for many more Liverpool videos. This is the only Premier League predictions video I'm doing until after the transfer window. If you are excited for the Liverpool content, like I said, like, subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you never miss another video by me again. We also will be bringing World Cup content ready for this summer. Thank you all for watching and I'll see you all in a bit. Bye-bye.